Good morning, guys. Good morning, YouTubers. Good morning, Dollar Generalers. I know today we had a clearance going on, and I went to 4 stores today. I'm going to say this. A lot of the stores, it was almost like they didn't know they had a clearance sale going on. Usually in my area, they have the table set up in addition to the clearance aisle and things like that. One store, which is my local store, it did not open today until almost 10 o'clock, but that's neither here nor there. They're the only one that I see that had like a general table set up with a few items. The other store that I went to, they had a table, but it was really like the bath stuff, the towels, and I know those are buy one get one free. They're not necessarily on a part of like the clearance sale. So only one store really had it. The other two had no tables at all. And then the other one that did have a table, like I said, it was really like for the shower curtains, the towels, the washcloths, and things of that nature. So I was able to score some things today. First, I got this little basket. It's normally $3. I paid $1.50 for it. This is so cool. I think I'm just gonna use it for like mail or something like that. I'm not too sure yet. So in that same store, I also got this. I did 2 separate transactions because that particular store that I bought this from is the only store in my area that is giving the 10 off of 30 on the coupon. So I wanted to make sure that I had at least 2 of the 10 off of 30 coupons. So like I said, this one was normally $3. I paid $1.50. Then they had this collapsible basket, which I thought was so cute for my mom. So I'm going to fill up some things for her for this and give it to her. But the basket I thought was so cute. And they had the LED mirrors. They had little mugs. These were on sale too, I think for like $1.50. And then they had this little white basket. And then they had this little organizer. So this is my receipt. You gave me my coupon. I'm so used to having coupons for things, right, guys? So this is my receipt. You can see where they take off, all of the discounts. I paid $11.91 for all of this, for the baskets, the mirror, the mug, the organizer, the other little basket, which I thought was a pretty good deal. Now, for some reason, when I went to that same store that only had the bath shower mats and things like that and the shower curtains on sale, like I said, they didn't have a lot of things on the table, but for some reason I can't seem to find that receipt. But these on clearance are $1.87. That's the UPC, so you can scan it. And then they had these little popcorn seasonings. These are 67 cents. That's the UPC, so you can scan that, because for some reason my receipt decided to just run away. Okay, so the final store, which is my local store that was closed earlier and was open when I came back around, thank goodness. They are the only ones that have this Lysol. Now, I've seen this Lysol package in the other Dollar Generals. They were not coming up as part of the clearance at all. They were coming up at regular price, which I think is like $13 or $11. And yeah, it was $11.70, and you can see where they took it off at right there. So $11.70, $5.85. They're not, there's only one store I've seen this in. So I got some of the Good Cook, because these things, the Good Cooks, are still on sale. They're still coming up, really good prices, half price. I love the chip clips. These were like $1 and change. Like all of these were like $1 and change. Then the Lysol was like $1.87. I got some oven cleaner. These pads was like $1. The Summer Eves was like $2. The glass cleaner I think was like $1. I'm gonna show you guys my receipt in a second so that you can see. I've never tried these, but I love Tahin, so I definitely got these. Even with the sale though, pistachios are expensive, okay? Because they were $3.80 and then $1.90 off. So $1.90 still isn't bad. And then my husband came across, and I don't know what this is. I thought it was Brute, but I'm not too sure. He came across this little like cologne that they had on sale. And everything came up to $26.87. But as you can see, I got a bunch of stuff. With the exception of my Fanta, everything had a discount on it. You can see all the discounts that came off. So yeah, like I said, I went to a couple of stores. I went to 4 stores. And I don't really feel like a lot of them was like prepared for the clearance, or I know that they're participating, but like I said, in the past when I've done a clearance, it's always the tables. And yeah, I know I to go look in the aisles and stuff, and I did that today too, but I'm just so used to seeing everything out. Again, as someone who's still new to this, I've only had a couple experiences with the clearances, so maybe this is something that just happens. I don't know. But I think I did pretty good today. I got a bunch of little stuff, for really good prices. So yeah, good luck. Good luck on your clearance hunt, on your clearance search. I hope you guys make off great. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe and stay cool.